My name is Gerard, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to create a circular pixel stretch effect using Photoshop. So let's begin right away. The first thing to do is to separate the subject from its background. So pick a selection tool of your choice and make a selection around the subject. For this video I'll be using the quick selection tool. If you're also using the quick selection tool, then hold the Alt key on your keyboard and roll the mouse wheel back and forth to zoom in and out. Then to change the size of your quick selection brush, use the square bracket keys on your keyboard and make a selection around your subject. Then for the unwanted selection like this one, you can just press and hold the Alt key. As you can see, it turns the brush to a minus, so you can just brush around to subtract the unwanted selection. If you are done making a selection, then click on Select and choose Select and Mask or Refine Edge if you are using an old version of Photoshop. Then click OK. Turn on Smart Radius and change the view mode to overlay. Then make sure you select the Refine Edge brush, and you can zoom in and start brushing around these unwanted areas to refine the edges. Don't worry so much about the over selection, we shall come back later and fix it. So take your time and refine the edges, all the edges of your subject. I was not so precise for the sake of time, but remember we shall be using layer mask, so you can always do corrections. So change the output mode to new layer with mask. And click OK. Then for the next step, make sure the thumbnail of the main object is selected. Then click on the crop tool. Then hold the Alt key on your keyboard and expand. Then release and double click. The next step is to create a new background for the subject. So click on the adjustment layers icon and select solid color. Then you can choose any background color of your choice. I think I'll go with this. Then click OK and drag your color field below the subject layer. At this point now we can go ahead and create our main effect. So click on the thumbnail of the main subject, and you can rename it so that you don't get confused. So let's just call this subject. Pick your rectangular marquee tool and select a portion of the subject. Something like this. Then press Ctrl+J on your keyboard to duplicate it. And then press Ctrl+T to transform it. Then press and hold the Shift+Alt key on your keyboard and expand it until it reaches the end of the document. Then double click. Then you can also take another portion of the main subject. So let's take this portion. Make sure the main subject layer is selected. Then press Ctrl+J to duplicate it. and press Ctrl plus T to transform it. Then hold Shift plus Alt as you stretch until it reaches the extreme end. And double click. The next step is to join these two stretches together. So select your Move tool, click on the first stretch and snap it to the second stretch. Then click the layer of the stretch, hold Shift, then you click the second layer, then right click and merge. So now that they are merged, you can move it until it snaps on top of the document. So for a better effect, we have to make sure that the stretch is at least covering half of the image. So let's duplicate this stretch. So you can hold the Alt button on your keyboard and you drag this stretch down so that it makes a duplicate. Then merge the layers together. So hold Shift as you click on the second layer, then right click and merge. So now this is our stretch. So before we apply our effect, let's make sure that we crop the stretch so that it fits the size of the document to cut out the extra stretch. So press Ctrl plus A to select everything and click on Image, then click Crop. Now to deselect, press Ctrl plus D on your keyboard. So if you move this around, you can see it's now the actual size of the document. So to apply the effect, click on Filter, Distort, then select Polar Coordinates. Then make sure you select Rectangular to Polar and click OK. Then drag the layer of your circle below the subject so that it goes behind. Then press Ctrl plus T and reshape your circle to exactly what you're looking for. So you can hold the Shift key while moving the anchor point so that it makes a perfect circle. The next step, create a layer mask for the circular stretch. So make sure its layer is selected and click on the layer mask button. Then pick a brush tool. Make sure the opacity is 100 and flow is also 100. And paint it with black to hide the part of the circle that you don't want. The next step is to create a shadow for our circle. So create a new layer below the circular stretch layer. So click on any layer that is below the circular stretch and click on the new layers icon. Grab your brush tool and change it to a soft round brush with hardness of 0 and a size of around 500 pixels. Then click just below the circle. Then on your keyboard, press Ctrl plus T to transform. Hold the Shift plus Alt key and reduce the size and also expand it. Then double click. Reduce the opacity to around 80%. Then you can select your Move tool and you move your shadow around. At this point, if you want to fine-tune your main subject, you can click on the thumbnail of its layer mask and just grab your brush tool. Then you can zoom in and you paint with white to reveal what was taken out. So take your time and make sure you have a perfect selection. and to hide, you always paint with black. At this point, you can decide to stop, or you can go ahead and add more adjustments. For example, let's add a hue saturation adjustment on the circular effect. So click on the layer, the circular effect layer. Click on the adjustment layer icon and select hue stroke saturation. So clip it so that it affects only the circular layer. And you can do fun stuff like colorize, then adjust the hue to change the color. Yeah, something like this. Or you can use the hand tool and you just adjust a specific color of your choice. For example, let's select this, click and hold, then drag it to the right to increase. Click another color, increase. Yeah, just like this. So if this video was helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos. Thank you for watching.